Hello, and welcome to another awesome video lesson from Bauer Guitar Lessons. I'm Brent Bauer, Mr. Brent, and this is for the week of April 17th, 2018, and this lesson was... awesome! Awesome, indeed. Alright, so that it was. So the first thing we did is we went back to that Learning the Notes series where we went over the E notes, which was awesome. Double awesome. So, very cool. So then for next week, we're going to go over the next one, so stay tuned for that one. And that brought us to the next thing, which we went back to the moving chromatic exercise, where we reviewed at 90 beats per minute, which sounded great. And then also after that, we decided to bring it up to 93 beats per minute, which is also sounding great. Just want you to go ahead and take a little bit more time practicing that one. And once you feel like you got it a couple times, I would say at least 3 times, maybe try to aim for 5 times. Then try to bring it up to 95 beats per minute. And what we'll do for next week is we'll review it at 93 and then see if we can bring it up to 95 as we get closer and closer to 100. So stay tuned for that one. And that brought us to the next thing, which we went over the last final parts to Super Mario Brothers, and now you have the entire song. So let's go over the last couple parts. Let's zoom in and see what we got here. Okay, so last week we did the last part, which went like this. And this is actually a part that's going to be repeated, so we're going to start with the first finger on first fret on the B string. We got that E string, then go up to the B string, which is a C note here, to our open G. Then first finger is going to come up to the first fret on the G, second finger to the second fret, and then first finger back, first fret but high E string. So now we got back to the A note on the second fret on the G. So that was the one we did from last week. Now we've got this new part. It's going to start off by having an open B string. Then our third finger is going to go to fret 5 on the high E string. We're going to play it 3 times, this A note here. From here, bring our first finger to fret 3, and then to fret 1, all on the high E string. So far we have... Then we're going to lift up, open high E. Bring the first finger up to the B string, that's C note again. Then we're going back to that A note, fret 2 on the G string. And then open G. So let's put that all together. That's at normal speed. So now we got that for a whole little section right there, which is... Now we only have one more section, and we're going to divide it up into 2 parts. Again, same thing as before. So that's just repeated. But now, this is the last part. We're going to start with that open B string again. However, now we're going to be over here, what we call first position, because our first finger is going to be on the first fret. And you're just going to play that F note right there, fret 1 on the high E string 3 times. And lift up for open high E. Third finger is going to the D note, fret 3 on the B string. And then back to first finger, but this time on the C note, fret 1 on the B string. So all together. So that whole section all together. And we've got all the parts. Alright, very cool job. So now, go ahead and practice each one of those and see if you can memorize it and then put it together with the whole song, because next week what we're going to do, first thing, is record Super Mario Brothers, so stay tuned for that one. Very cool job. And then that brought us to the last big thing, which we went over our strum pattern number 1, which is down, up, which is just eighth notes, 1 and 2 and we repeated that to get the rest of the 4 beats there, 3 and 4 and. So down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So we used the chord progression to House of the Rising Sun, and we just went back and forth between these chords. So let's zoom in and see what we got here. Alright, so drums are set to 55 beats per minute here. And what we're going to start with is that A minor chord, so let's hold it down. A minor. And right now we're not going to strum, we're just going to go use our fretting hand and go back and forth between the chords, so doing some chord transitions. So let's hold it A minor, 2, 3, 4 to our C chord, 2, 3, 4 to the D chord, 2, 3, 4 to F, 2, 3, 4. Now the trickier ones can be from C to D and D to F. So what we want to do is let's go ahead and isolate that by going from the C chord to the D chord. So here we go, 2, 3, 4 to the C chord, 2, 3, 4 over to D, 2, 3, 4. Now if you're struggling with going with your fingers all on the right frets and strings on the D chord, let's isolate that D chord. So all you're going to do is lift up the fingers a little bit and try to bring them all down on each string there. So first finger's on the G, second finger's on the high E, third finger's on the B string. They just lift up again, and then bring them down. And try to bring them down on the beat there. And bring them down. Lift up, bring them down. So go ahead and repeat that several times. Now let's go back to C chord. 3, 4, now to D chord. 2, 3, 4. Just keep going back to C. 2, 3, 4 to D. 2, 3, 4. Once you feel comfortable and you're starting to land all your fingers right on the D chord, doing that several times, now let's go to the D and the F chord. So you're going to start with D, 2, 3, 4. You lift up and try to get all 3 fingers down on the F chord and check it. Make sure you got each one ringing out there. Again, we'll go back to D and D chord. 3, 4, lift up to F chord. 2, 3, 4. Awesome. So once you do is go ahead and practice that. Try it at 55 beats per minute right now. And then just to challenge yourself, just keep bringing it up a little bit. Try it at 60 beats per minute. And that will be able to get you to go quicker with those chord transitions. And once you feel comfortable with that, you can just keep bringing it up. But try to get it right about 3 or 4 times there, and that would be great. Alright, now let's go ahead and incorporate the strum pattern into it. So we got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and that's a count. Down, up, down, up, down, up. Here we go. 4 and a C. 2 D. Alright, now let's just keep it to the 4 chords. E minor, C, D, to F. And then repeat. And 4 and a C. D, time to A minor, to C, D, F, and on A minor. Awesome job. So So again, just isolate it first. Do the fretting hand first, going back and forth with those chord transitions, using the drum machine so you can use it at 55 beats per minute, and then just try to keep increasing it once you feel comfortable with that BPM, those beats per minute right there. And then incorporate the strum pattern, playing along with that down, up, 1 and 2 and just repeating it for the third and fourth beats, 3 and 4 and moving along with the chords there. And then for next week, what we'll do is review that and see if we can go into a new strum pattern, so stay tuned for that one. Awesome job. So again, for this week, what I want you to do is go through that moving chromatic exercise, now at 93 beats per minute, and if you feel like you got it, about 3 or 4 times, even 5 times, try bringing it up to 95 beats per minute. And then also go through Super Mario Brothers, going through the whole thing. Just try to isolate first those last parts and then put them all together, and next week we'll go ahead and record that. And then go through those chords, A minor, C, D, and F. First going through chord transitions just with the fretting hand, and then incorporating the strumming hand as well, and you'll be all set for next week. Alright, well that's going to wrap up this video lesson, so I hope you got a lot out of it, enjoyed yourself, so stay tuned because there's plenty more coming, and always remember, always strive to be
imperfect.